العزة للمسلم في دنياه، ثم تكون له العزة في آخرته. ومن ذلك الأحاديث الكثيرة، من ذلك قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: شرف المسلم قيام الليل، وعزته في الاستغناء عن الناس، أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. فإذن شرفه في قيام الليل هذه عزة أخروية متعلقة بالآخرة، لأن قيام الليل فيه أجر عظيم. هذه عزته في الآخرة، كما أن عزته في الدنيا باستغنائه عن الناس. فقد راعى الإسلام بين العزتين، ولا يجوز للعبد أن يكون ذليلا إلا لله عز وجل، لا ينكسر إلا لله. ولذلك جاء في الحديث الصحيح عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه قال: من صنع لكم معروفا فكافئوه، فإن لم تستطيعوا أن تكافئوه فأكثروا له من الدعاء حتى تظنوا أنكم قد كافأتموه. قال العلماء في تفسير هذا الحديث: والعلة في ذلك حتى لا يكون القلب منكسرا لأي أحد دون الله عز وجل. فإذا كان العبد منكسر للناس فإنه يحصل فيه من الضعف في الوصول إلى الله عز وجل، فلا يستطيع أن يبذل ما أمره الله عز وجل من الطاعة وهو منكسر لغير الله سبحانه وتعالى. ولا تنافي بين أن يكون عزيزا وأن يكون متواضعا، كما نبينه بإذن الله.
And it is also incumbent upon us all to know that honor is with three components. And it has to have these three components for an individual to attain this honor and this glory. And so whoever wants honor, he must seek it for this life and the hereafter. And that is the true honor. A person might be honored in this life, however, is not from those who will be granted that honor in the hereafter. And this, in reality, is no honor at all. It was mentioned, and that is why it was mentioned that the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ, he said in a hadith, in what it means, that a man will be presented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he is a person or a man that is huge or ginormous in size. However, this individual is a hypocrite, and he is dead on the inside, meaning from the religion and true honor. And with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will not weigh anything. It was also mentioned that the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ says that the people who are proud and boastful and arrogant in this life, on the day of judgment, they will come and they will be like ants. And so, an individual needs to be careful and needs to take into consideration these two places, or these two types of conditions in which, or these two areas in which he wants and seeks that honor, meaning in this life and in the hereafter. And there's no doubt that honor in the hereafter is far greater, more significant, more relevant to the true believer. And there's a great many hadith that reports this. How is it that a Muslim will attain honor in this life and in the hereafter? This was also mentioned in the hadith of the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ, where he says, in the meaning of, that the honor of the Muslim is in standing in prayer at night. And his honor also is with staying away from asking the people and begging them. Or as it was mentioned by the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ. And here, what is meant by the honor in the hereafter, meaning him standing in prayer at night, attaining that honor, meaning receiving that reward, receiving that great reward and that promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will honor him in this life if you stay away from asking, or by staying away and by begging the people and staying away from that. And that is an honor for this life. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't put him in that position that he's to beg and to plead and to ask the people what they have in their hands. And it is not permissible for a Muslim to humble himself, humiliate himself, disgrace himself, except to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why I was mentioning in the hadith that whoever does something for you, then you should give him a compensation for that. You should compensate him for the work that he did for you. And if you're not able to do so, then you should at least pray for him, make dua for him, until you think that you have sufficed him, or gave him and compensated him for that in which he has done for you. It was mentioned by the scholars of Islam pertaining to this hadith. He said, because one should not put another in a position to beg and plead the people and ask them. And likewise, an individual himself shouldn't do so. And as we will come to explain furthermore, the difference in certain matters pertaining to humiliating or humbling yourself before an individual.
ثم أيضا من الأمور التي تنجلي فيها العزة أنك كلما كنت متواضعا لله كنت عزيزا. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم جاء عنه من تواضع لله رفعه. ورفعه هنا في سياق الإثبات، وهي نكرة، وكل نكرة جاءت في سياق الإثبات أو النفي تعم. المقصود هنا رفعه أي في الدنيا وكذلك في الآخرة، ليس مقصورا على الآخرة، بل حتى الرفعة في الدنيا. ولننظر لهؤلاء المتواضعين كيف أن الله عز وجل رفعهم وأعلى شأنهم، وهذا مشاهد وملموس. وإن كان بعض الناس قد يستهين بهم، لكن في قرارة قلبه يعتقد رفعة هذا المتواضع. قد جاء النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أيضا أنه قال: أنا زعيم ببيت في ربض الجنة. وأيضا جاء في وسط الجنة لمن ترك المراء ولو كان محقا. فليست العزة بأن يثبت كل منهما من هو على حق ولو كان بالمراء، وإنما من ترك شيئا لله عوضه الله خيرا منه. فالعزة هي بالائتمار بأمر الله عز وجل والانتهاء عن نهيه سبحانه وتعالى. كذلك في الدعاء فيه انكسار ولذلك كان من أجل العبادات. الدعاء هو العبادة، الدعاء هو العبادة. قال أحد السلف: علمت أن كل خير بيد الله، وعلمت أنه لا ينال ما عند الله إلا بسؤال الله، فأيقنت أن الدعاء مفتاح كل خير. كل خير بيد الله سبحانه وتعالى، ولا ينال ما عند الله إلا بسؤال الله، ولذلك كان الدعاء مفتاح كل خير. ولكن سؤال الناس مذلة، والله يغضب إن تركت سؤاله، وبني آدم إن سألت يغضب. فسؤال الناس فيه مذلة، وعدم سؤال الله فيه بعد، وفيه أيضا تعذيب لمن تركه تكبرا. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى: وقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم إن الذين يستكبرون عن عبادتي سيدخلون جهنم داخرين. ما معنى داخرين؟ أي ذليلين. الذي لا يذل نفسه لله يذله الله، والذي يذل نفسه للناس يذله الناس. فانظروا كيف الأمر، لا بد. ولذلك الفرار إلى الله غير الفرار إلى الناس. الفرار إلى الناس مذلة، والفرار إلى الله رفعة وعلو شأن. نسأل الله عز وجل أن يجعلني وإياكم من الذين يفرون إلى الله عز وجل ويلتجئون به وحده سبحانه.
Also, likewise, from the matters in which allow honor to become more apparent and understood is that every time an individual humiliates himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, humbles himself before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he should know and understand that by doing so, he is in reality elevating himself, elevating his status, coming closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, whoever humiliates himself, humbles himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will elevate him, will allow him to ascend and lift him and honor him. And all of this takes place, all this honor, all this elevation of status, all of this takes place in this life and in the hereafter, in which here the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned this hadith, and it is understood that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will lift this individual and honor him and grant him glory and success and elevate him in this life and in the hereafter. And we will look, inshallah, by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, an example of those who the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, and from the stories of the righteous predecessor of those who humiliate themselves and humble themselves before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we will see how their status was elevated, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted them glory and success and honor, even though there are some individuals who deny the status of theirs, where the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that I will guarantee a house in paradise, and in one narration, a house in the middle of paradise, for he who leaves off argumentation, even though he knows he is correct or he is right. And here we understand where the Mr. Muhammad ﷺ says, whoever leaves something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will compensate him for it. And He will be the one rewarding him and compensating him for it. And so honor is attained and becomes more so apparent by holding on to the commandments and being true to the covenant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Likewise, a way or means in which an individual can humiliate himself to Allah and humble himself before Allah is by supplicating to Him, making dua. It was mentioned, one of the Salaf and the righteous predecessors, he said that I understood and I acknowledged that every good is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, and I cannot obtain that is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except by asking Him and calling to Him and praying to Him and supplicating to Him. So he said, so I then knew for an surety, and I was certain that dua and supplicating to Him and calling upon Him, that is the key to all that is good. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dislikes for His servants not to call upon Him and ask Him and plead to Him and humiliate themselves to Him. However, that is the total opposite with the human beings. For the human being hates that you ask him and are persistent in asking Him. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the exalted and sublime, loves for that to take place and likes for those individuals to turn to Him in repentance and seek forgiveness and ask Him whatever it is that they need. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and what it means, and your Lord said, supplicate to me, make dua to me, I will answer your call. Verily and indeed, those who feel that they are too arrogant or stubborn or proud to worship me, indeed they will enter into Jahannam, the hellfire, and they will be abiding therein in the worst form, and they will be thrown and flung in there. Well, they will abide therein. And so, running towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fleeing towards Allah, that is what will elevate you. And fleeing towards or running towards the people, that is what will humiliate you. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us and you from those who are honored in this life and in the hereafter.
أيضا من الأمثلة، وكما قيل بالمثال يتضح المقال، من الأمثلة التي تبين لنا حقيقة العزة، بعض الناس اليوم يظن أن لو سبه شخص فرد عليه هذا دليل على عزته وشجاعته وقوته، وأنه لا يرضى بمثل هذا الأمر، مع أن عدم الرد عليه هو في الحقيقة هو العزة. جاء عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أن أبا بكر الصديق رضي الله عنه كان بجوار النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، فجاء رجل فسب أبا بكر فسكت أبو بكر رضي الله عنه، فتبسم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، ثم سب أبا بكر فسكت أبو بكر ولم يرد عليه، فتبسم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، فلما سبه الثالثة رد عليه أبو بكر رضي الله عنه، فقام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم مغضبا فقال يا رسول الله كان يسبني وتتبسم، فلما رددت عليه غضبت. قال كان ملك عند رأسك يا أبا بكر يقول له كذبت حتى إذا سببته كنت مثله فقمت وحضر الشيطان ولا يجتمع نبي وشيطان. فإذا عزة المؤمن هذه من عزة المؤمن أن يترك الشيء لله عز وجل. فليس العزة المفهوم الذي يظنه بعض الناس أنه يستطيع أن يقول كل شيء أو أن يفعل كل شيء في سبيل عزة نفسه، ثم لا يستفيد من ذلك ما وعد الله عز وجل به عباده المتقين. أيضا جاء عن عمر رضي الله عنه وهو المبشر بالجنة أنه كان كثير البكاء. فليس الإنسان إذا كان عزيزا أنه لا يبكي، لكن البكاء لله هو الذي يورثك العز، البكاء لله عز وجل. وهذه هذه أول الأمور الثلاثة التي بدأنا بها الكلمة أو انتصفنا بها الكلمة، أنه لابد من ثلاثة أمور لعزة المؤمن. أولا أن يكون لله، كل عمل تفعله لابد أن يكون لله عز وجل، ما يكون انتصار لنفسك. تقول عائشة رضي الله عنها: والله ما انتصر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لنفسه قط، وما غضب النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لنفسه قط. إذن أول شيء يكون لله، كل عمل تفعله يكون لله عز وجل. حتى اللقمة تضعها في امرأتك تكتب لك صدقة إذا كانت إيش؟ لله. إذا كانت لله. حتى الرجل يأتي أهله يريد تحصين نفسه تكتب له صدقة إذا كانت لله. سقت امرأة بغية كلبا لله فشكر الله لها، جاء في رواية فشكر الكلب لها فغفر الله لها. وأيضا رجل أزال جذع كان يؤذي المسلمين في طريقهم فشكر الله له فأدخله الجنة. أن يكون جميع الأعمال تكون لله عز وجل، مهما تكلم الناس، مهما قال الناس، تفعل الشيء لله عز وجل. الأمر الثاني أن يكون بالله أي مستعينا. كل عمل لابد أن يكون لله، أن يكون فيه أيضا طلب العون من الله عز وجل، لأن الإنسان قوي بالله ضعيف بجميع الخلق. ولذلك كان من دعاء النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: ولا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين. هل هناك أقل من طرفة عين؟ طرفة عين ما في أقل منها. ولذلك خطأ يقول لك أقل من طرفة عين، هذا خطأ. أو يقول لك هذا أوهن من بيت العنكبوت. لا، الله عز وجل ضرب بأوهن البيوت، ما في أوهن منها. ولذلك خطأ أن يقال أوهن من بيت العنكبوت، أو يقال أقل من طرفة عين. ما في أقل من طرفة عين، لأن لو كان هناك لضرب به الله سبحانه وتعالى مثلا، وضرب به النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم مثلا. ثم فإذا لابد أن يكون الإنسان مستعين بالله عز وجل في جميع أعماله، جميع أحواله، جميع وقوفه، جلوسه، كلامه، استعين بالله عز وجل. والأمر الثالث أن يكون وفق كلام الله وكلام رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. فبهذه الثلاثة أمور، وهذا هو السداد الذي كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يدعو الله عز وجل ويعلم أصحابه سؤال الله عز وجل السداد. قال: يا علي قل اللهم اهدني وسددني، وتذكر بهدايتك هداية الطريق، وبسدادك سدادك السهم. السداد أمر مهم، لا عبرة بأي عمل إلا إذا كان مسددا، ولا يكون مسددا إلا إذا كان موافقا لهدي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. نسأل الله عز وجل بمنه وكرمه أن يرزقنا الإخلاص في جميع أقوالنا وأفعالنا. وأختم بمثال وهو مثال عظيم أيضا. ضربنا مثالا بأبي بكر رضي الله عنه، وضربنا مثالا بعمر رضي الله عنه. ضربنا مثالا ولا ما ضربت؟ أن عمر رضي الله عنه كان كثير البكاء لله عز وجل، بل كان يتهم نفسه بالنفاق. لما مات أبو بكر رضي الله عنه ذهب إلى حذيفة قال: أسألك بالله هل عدني الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم من المنافقين؟ فإذا اتهام النفس، من أراد عزة نفسه فليتهم نفسه أيضا. ولا يرتقي الإنسان إلى أشرف المنازل حتى يتهم هذه النفس لله سبحانه وتعالى. وأضرب مثالا آخرا وليس أخيرا، لأن أمثلة كثيرة، ومن تدبر أحوال السلف يجد كيف أنهم من أعز الناس، مع أنهم من أعظم الناس تواضعا أخلاقا غير ذلك. عائشة رضي الله عنها، قد جاء عن عائشة رضي الله عنها لما أنزل الله عز وجل براءتها في كلامه سبحانه وتعالى قالت: والله إن نفسي أحقر أو شأني أحقر من أن ينزل الله عز وجل في آية تتلى إلى يوم القيامة، وإنما أردت أن يرى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم رؤيا، ورؤيا الأنبياء حق. ولذلك ابن القيم رحمه الله تعالى لما ذكر هذا الكلام في جلاء الأفهام قال: وفي هذا دليل وهذا مثال على على نفوس الصالحين العظيمة، كيف أنهم بلغوا أعلى المنازل، مع ذلك تواضعوا لله عز وجل. ما قالت عائشة رضي الله عنها: أستحق ذلك لأني زوجة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، ولأني مظلومة، ولأني كذب علي. لم تقل ذلك، وإنما قالت: كنت أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يرى رؤيا، ورؤيا الأنبياء حق، وحقرت شأنها، ولذلك رفعها الله سبحانه وتعالى. نسأل الله عز وجل بمنه وكرمه وإحسانه أن يجعل أعمالنا خالصة لله سبحانه، مستعينا به سبحانه وتعالى وحده، وأن يجعل أعمالنا جميعا مسددة بفعل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. الله أعلم، صلى الله وسلم وبارك وأنعم على نبي محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
Also, from the examples in which make it apparent and clear to us in regards to attaining true honor and glory, when you look into the reality of some of the people today, you will find that if someone was to curse him, or to slander him, or to speak ill in regards to him, they would think that the honorable thing to do is to say those things back to this individual and speak for himself, defend himself, and speak ill, and speak back to this individual, that this says something about his bravery and courage, or that this is a sign of his manhood, or whatever it is that would be said in regards to this scenario or this situation. When in reality, the opposite of that is that what will give an individual honor. It was mentioned that the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ was standing with Abu Bakr one day, when a man came and started to curse Abu Bakr. He started to curse him and speak ill in regards to him. And Abu Bakr was silent, remained silent. And the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ would turn to him and he would smile. And so the man once again started cursing Abu Bakr. And Abu Bakr was silent. The Messenger Muhammad ﷺ turned to him and would smile. So the man on the third time, he would curse him, cursed Abu Bakr. So Abu Bakr, he defended himself and spoke back to this individual And so when the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ heard this, he got up and walked away. So Abu Bakr said, "O Messenger of Allah, when he was cursing me, you said nothing, and you would just look at me and smile. But then when I spoke up for myself or defended myself or spoke back to him, you got up and then left." He said, "Yes, because when he was cursing at you, there was an angel next to your head. He was saying to him that you have lied. You have lied, meaning you have lied about Abu Bakr in this bad speech. And the angel was defending you. However, when you spoke and you started to mention certain things, I could no longer be in company with when the shaitan has come and instigated between you two, or has come into the equation. And so, honor is not with the capability or ability to say what you want, do what you want, deal with certain matters the way you want. However, honor is that in which was defined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was passed with the legislation. Also, it was mentioned that Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, and he is the one who has been given glad tidings of Jannah, paradise. It was mentioned that he used to cry a lot. He used to cry in abundance and weep. And this is what will allow an individual to attain success and glory and honor. He was crying for who? He was crying for what? He was crying to who? He was crying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sincerity, with true devotion. So this is the first matter that we wanted to clarify, of those components in which will allow an individual to attain this honor and glory. And that is, when you do something, you're doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, in your eyes, might be belittled or degraded or humiliated. If that humiliation, that degradation, that disgrace is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so be it. That is the way in which an individual can attain honor and glory. It was mentioned that Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, she said that the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ would never get upset for himself. They would only get upset when people would transgress against the limitations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He would only become angry and upset when people would go and turn away and not hold on to the words of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ, or they do matters that are contrary to it, of matters of polytheism and disbelief, and so forth and so on. As we know from the ahadith, that even if you would put food in the mouth of your wife, if you seek that is what is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is for the sake of Allah. Also, even if you spend time and be with your wife intimately and sexually and so forth, even with this, if you seek that is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are rewarded, as was mentioned in the hadith. Even that woman that was mentioned that she gave that dog some water, she was rewarded for it. And this is the first matter that we wanted to mention. He said the second is that you do so, and you do this act of worship for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, however, seeking sustenance and aid and help and support from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a person is strong with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, however is weak when he seeks that strength or that he seeks that support or aid from other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will become weak. And as it was mentioned that the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they used to say or used to call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a dua, "Oh Allah, do not put me or allow me to be dependent upon myself, even if it was for a blink of an eye." And so that's why it is a mistake sometimes that you'll find some people say that for like mentioning distance or time, or saying that it is a shorter time than it was lesser than a blink of an eye. This is wrong, because if there was an example that was less time than that, or less time as a duration than that, then it would have been mentioned. Not only that, like an individual who would say, for example, in regards to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he said in regards to the house of the spider or the spider web, He says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that is the lightest and most fragile or frail type of house or home or abode. So it is incorrect for an individual to say or make an example of a house that is lesser than that, or say that there is a house that is lesser than that, or abode or a place. Because if there was something less than that, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have mentioned it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. And the third component that was mentioned, and Shaykh Abdur Rahman Omaysan, may Allah preserve him, concluded with, is that this honor is attained through these acts of worship, in which can only be in accordance with the words of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that is how an individual is steadfast. That is how an individual becomes upright. That is how an individual attains glory and honor. That in which the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would say, and also he used to teach his companions, as it was said where he said, "O Ali, say, O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, guide me to the straight path. And remember with that guidance, how you seek guidance in your path or in your way, or in the directions in which you seek to go from one place to another." And so, an individual needs to take this into consideration, remember these matters. And a person cannot be from those who are upright and steadfast, those who are from those who attain this glory and honor, except with the words of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And also, likewise, he said, we'd like to remind ourselves and you with holding ourselves into accountability, always trying to rectify ourselves, reviewing ourselves, defragmenting what is it that we are doing, what is it that we are believing, what is it that we are saying, what are we upon. Whoever wants to be honored by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and elevated, then he must always review himself. And not only that, also push himself and strive and know or think that he hasn't done anything. He must believe this. We haven't done anything for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why it was mentioned that Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, he used to even think and consider himself from the hypocrites. And he is Umar ibn Khattab. He is the one who has been given glad tidings of Jannah. It was mentioned that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, may Allah be pleased with him, when he passed away, he went to Hudayfa and asked him, he said, "Oh Hudayfa, I ask you in the name of Allah, the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned me as one of the hypocrites?" Likewise, Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, where she humiliated herself and degraded herself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah mentioned her innocence and reported her innocence from that false claim and accusation, where she said in regards to that, "I swear by Allah that I did not feel that I deserve all of that in which has been said to me by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala," meaning that I feel that I am a lot insignificant than that. That I'm not the person who should have been mentioned by Allah. But I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would allow the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to see me in a dream, meaning to clarify that matter. However, when she degraded herself and humbled herself before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevated her and elevated her status and elevated her remembrance. That He mentioned her innocence in His words, then which is recited to the end of days. And as it was mentioned by Ibn al-Qayyim in his book Jalal Afham, may Allah have mercy upon him, he says that this example is an example of the attitude and the psyche of the righteous and the pious people, men and women, those who are a lot greater than a lot of people. However, they belittled themselves, degraded themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and humbled themselves to Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevated them in status. And so, she did not say, for example, "Oh yes, I deserve this. I am the wife of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I am the most beloved people to him. I am so and so. I am so and so." She said that I felt that I was too insignificant for myself to be mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, that is the reality of those righteous and pious men. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those righteous, pious men and women, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the exalted and high, to make us and you from those who are pious and righteous, from those who attain these components and obtain the honor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life and the hereafter. هذا وصلى الله وسلم على رسول محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Inshallah, we will continue after Salat al-Maghrib, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. وبارك الله فيكم.